KEF Connect. Conversations that matter. Tune in every week for interviews with industry trendsetters and community changemakers that will instill inspiration and ignite action. Visit www.kefholdings.com and click KEF Connect to listen.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you after some time. Huh?
Good to see you too, Anas.
And I think just you telling me, Shabana, about your recent travel, this is something we will have to talk about today. But to start with, we're back on KEF Connect, Season 6 Finale, and a very, very cool topic that I think is on a lot of people's minds at the moment. And, when you think about the COVID, I don't want to call it era because era sounds glorified, but the COVID period where people had to stay at home, apparently treadmills were sold out and a lot of people were reading more. And I think it forced every human being to self-reflect. And I think that journey could have been painful for some people because they maybe never faced themselves, or sat alone without all the distraction of life and the weddings and the events and going out and the cinema. So I think one of the positives maybe of the COVID period is we had to sit down and we had to face ourselves, even if it was a difficult conversation. And that really pushed on the idea of mental wellness, physical wellness, which is, I think, a great topic for us to tackle today. So I'll start with, because I know both of you are very passionate and probably purely interested in this. KEF as a business is really into healthcare, but wellness is a lifestyle overall. And for your family, I think it's already, if I don't talk about business, I think it's already in your lifestyle. So please tell me about that.
So, like you said, Anas, I think wellness is a way of life, right? It's nothing like you do for some time and then you stop. I mean, you may be doing different things, but overall, you're looking at how you can balance your life with all the different aspects involved with it. So, be it mental health, be it your physical health, so nourishment, movement, your social life, it's a balance between all of that. And if you do a bit more of anything, then it, of course, has a problem. So you have to constantly try to keep that balance in life. So that's where we all, our journeys, in some time of course, we're trying to balance work. At some point, we're trying to balance our social needs. At some point, our emotional needs. So I think it's that constant journey to keep that balance going.
How does it work, though, for your family? I mean, it's such a big word. It can mean so many different things. But what does good wellness for your family? How do you integrate it?
So, thank you, Anas. You're looking 5 years younger, I think.
The hair.
Yeah, you look well.
Thank you.
And the topic is fantastic. And so for our family, me, both Shabana and myself, we inculcated wellness with the kids when they're very young. And I personally believe that many times people go into depression when they're not active. You see, so majority of the people don't have self-discipline. So I being raised with my father and mother in a disciplined manner. So we used to wake up every day at 5 in the morning. Also, we made sure that when the kids are growing up, we inculcated that habit in the morning, correct? So, see, the major energy, we all are connected through energy flow. It's come through the sun, and that's something which world is forgetting it, and the rising sun has got the maximum good energy. And if you are outside when the sun is rising, and that is where you absorb all these energies and all the vitamins and nutrition. And I think once you have that, you energize automatically. And when you energize, you're active. When you're active, you're busy. I think, so this is something which I've been following in my life since I was a kid. I always try to promote this within the home and office. And I think it's worked very well for us, and I see all our, even not only the personal happiness, also the businesses flourished because the energy was so good. We could do things better than the rest of the competitors in business, for example. So I think the self-discipline, getting connected to the nature itself can solve many of our issues, and that is what I believe wellness should be.
It's it's very nice, Faisal, how you simplified it. Although it's a simple thing, it's a very underrated word. Discipline is a very common word, but it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, yeah, discipline is important, but to actually be disciplined on a longer period of time, I think that's what makes the difference between a successful person or a happy person and somebody who's not. And if you can build healthy habits in your life, whether it's tennis or reading or seeing family or being, like you said, productive, I think it's so important. And you don't need to complicate and give 10 recipes. You just tell people, be disciplined, and then be productive. And that can do so many things under it. Shabana, you mentioned the happy birthday, the 50th, like the UAE.
Yes.
And you said a very interesting thing. This is not in my question. This is from me. That you decided to do a solo trip, which I thought was so impressive. And you went to Iceland.
Yes.
And then the family joined you at the end to celebrate together, which is a beautiful combo.
Yeah.
I think that is very much to do with wellness.
Yes.
Can you tell me the intention? Why did you decide to do something like that?
Yeah. So, my journey with wellness, especially mental well-being, has been a little different. So, since the age of 46, when I slowly started getting into the menopause stage, I started feeling mentally, I guess I kind of went through a depression almost. I was blessed with a good family. They helped me come out of it. So from then on, I thought to myself, I need to, give myself more. I need to understand what my boundaries are. I need to understand what my needs are. So I've been thinking about that, it's been on my mind. I've been working on that. So when my 50th birthday came, I said, I have to do something for myself this time. I know my family is very important to me, but I need this also to do for them, so I can be there for them. So I decided to go to Iceland. At some point, Faizal started feeling I need to create an identity. That's why I'm going away. But I don't think I needed that identity. I just needed to connect with myself. So that was important for me. So I decided to go. And seeing the Northern Light was something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So that's why I chose Iceland. My first choice was actually Bhutan. But Bhutan was not open because of COVID. They had 20 days of quarantine. So then I thought of Iceland. I don't like the cold. I just went without thinking too much. And then every day morning, I had planned something which I was challenging myself physically and mentally because the snow, it's like just raw nature there. So nothing is under control. Every day the weather was different. Luckily, I'd gone prepared with all my warm clothes and shoes, and so that weight was okay. But being there, walking on the snow, physically, going on the trails, hiking, snowmobiling, all that, I just challenged myself. Now, when I think back, I said, why did I do all that? I could have just gone there and sat in a resort and just but I don't know, something made me do that, and I feel good about myself for having done that. I did a lot of journaling, which I was not able to do here. I mean, the words were just flowing when I was writing. And, I just put in everything what I thought was negative in me, was blocking me. I just put everything down. And then I wanted to burn the diary, but then, you're not possible. So I just tore it and flushed everything off. So, I mean, it's a symbolic way of letting it go. Yeah, and then I reached this resort, which is 2 hours away from the city. And that night, I saw the Northern Lights. And it was amazing. I mean, the lights are dancing in the sky, and it's pink and purple and green, and I mean, you feel so small in, you feel how blessed you are and how grateful you should be just being part of this whole universe. Because like Faizal said, we are all connected. Nature is the best way you can connect to yourself, I feel. So, and then they came after 2 days, and we had a very nice time together. I mean, it was a magical experience for me. The country was beautiful, people, amazing people. And overall, it was a very refreshing, rejuvenating trip for me.
That's lovely. You're not jealous?
No. We're so happy, Shabana. I'm seeing her talking so beautifully about the experience. I think life is all about that. You have to feel for yourself, enjoy yourself. And also, I mean, even we get self-confident when you travel alone, meet people, and do things which we think that it is not possible, because human capacity is so much. We ourselves underestimate our capacity and capabilities. I'm sure that, she could figure that out when she was alone. Otherwise, we are always in a group, we're always together, we sometimes will get lost. Correct. So I'm so happy that, she could enjoy that. Yeah.
That's lovely. Now I'll go more into what you guys do. It's wellness is, like we said, it's a big topic, but I love that I'm getting personal stories from you about your life. So you took that ethos and that self-education and you brought it into your industry. Why did you choose wellness?
I mean, if you really look at it, if everybody is well mentally and physically, you will bring positive energy to the world. Correct? And we're all connected to each other, one way or the other. So I realized this in my own personal life. I said, wow, if I can connect my employees, with these habits. It's a habit actually, waking up in the morning and doing things together. Somebody has to push, we human beings are basically lazy people. So we built this community center in 2007 in our factory, and it's a huge investment. I think probably one of a kind in the world, because no industrial facility give importance to the wellness of the employees. So we spent 25 million dirhams in our factory to create this wellness community. It's called ETC Community Center. Later on, it was renamed when we sold the business in our name, Faizal and Shabana, or Shabana and Faizal Community Center. So that was the great experience because people were so energized. They gave high productivity. Companies started to boom. I said, imagine if we can do this to everyone in the world, correct? So that actually, if you ask me what is our economical success decision, that was the biggest decision we took, to build this community center and teach, how to make people happy, correct? And that now we are getting into a business of clinical wellness resort. So we are, after we build a hospital in Calicut, Maitra Hospital, now we are building $100 million clinical wellness resort, which is, again, I believe it is one of a kind, first in the world, bringing all the three medicines together under one roof, which is traditional medicine, modern medicine, and the future medicine, which is genomics, personalized medicine, and also bringing sports under one roof and rehabilitation under one roof. Correct? So there are 5 elements into it, and it's a fully sustainable park, 30 acres. That means everything energy is generated through solar energy, 1.5 megawatt of power. All the water we store the water during the monsoon season, 10 million liters of huge tank we built. And also excess water in the monsoon, we recharge into the ground water, so that we are creating a reservoir now. And next 3 years, as per the seismic study, what we have done, and everywhere there are sensors. We are calculating now how much water extra has gone into the underground now, correct? So this is my legacy project. I said this, I want thought leaders to come into this place. They should feel good They should solve their problems and replicate this model across the world. So we are creating a big intellectual property around it now. We are opening officially to the public on November 1st, 2022. And the phase 2 will be open year after. So this is something which is a gift I wanted to give back, or the blessings I got or we got as a family to the next generations. And it's called KEF Clinical Wellness Resort.
It's quite nice to know that you can go to one place.
Yes.
It's very convenient and it's a holistic solution.
Absolutely.
Not just go here then travel to New York to do
Absolutely.
something.
Absolutely.
And it's nice that you have joined that with a sustainable model.
Correct.
Because maybe a lot of people can say it's very difficult to do or it's quite impossible to do, but then it's a real project on ground that any engineer or any architect can come and say, no, you can actually build something like this.
Absolutely.
So you should get good awards for that, or good researchers.
And we have an open school there, which we have planned, so that even we wanted to bring kids, because we have a 15 acres of farm, correct, organic farm. So we have food farming, we have goat, chicken farm, water technology, and the entire building is water cooled. So there's no air conditioning over there.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we chill this. So we the rainwater which is stored, we purify that and we chill it to 17 degrees centigrade, and we have built technology for creating these buildings, and the water is passing through between the walls, both on the ceiling and the flooring, so that when you come in, you feel good.
Yeah, I'm sure it drops the temperature by a few degrees compared to outside.
Yes, it is always at 21 or 22 degrees C.
Nice.
So because there are a lot of new technology which is coming, because we are going through a climate crisis now, and the earth is heating up. We need to eliminate gases, CO2 emissions, air conditioning, all has to be eliminated. And there are technology available on the ground, but may not be that cheap as what you're getting, but it's worthwhile spending that 20% more and saving the world now. Then it becomes too late.
Yeah.
So many technologies under one roof. So we thought, why don't we have an open school? We're bringing kids every day, and also our customers can interact with the kids and give their expertise and experience to them. So I think this is an ecosystem we are creating, and something which I always wanted to do. And I'm 57 now. Probably it'll take 3 years to really mature everything. And that's something I'm passionate about. Yeah.
I think good things cook slow.
Yeah.
So let it cook for 3 years. Why not?
Thank you.
Okay. Tell me.
Anna, I just wanted to make a comment. I think without taking care of Mother Earth, we cannot feel well as well, right? We're so connected. So if the world around us we're not taking care of the sustainability part of it, human beings are going to suffer in the end, I feel.
That's honestly, you just connected everything, because I think even some listeners might be thinking, okay, what does sustainability, because we're talking about the CO2 emissions and they're like, okay, what does that have to do with my wellness? And you just connected it all.
Yeah.
And if I follow what Faizal said, that everything is connected, how sun is important, how greenery is important, how clean air is important. And I'm pretty sure, there are a lot of stats that these countries that are very cloudy, that they hardly have sunlight, they have higher depression rates.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The sun is so crucial for us.
Absolutely.
London, that's what people complain about. That it's a beautiful city, but they're like the weather. They
Yes.
always complain about the weather.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, Dubai, we have enough sun.
We're blessed, yeah.
Yeah. So, Faisal, the big project is this one.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is what you really want to do. So, coming back to also the idea of wellness, do you believe there's a huge or new awareness to it? Now, you as a family, it's obvious that you've been practicing this from before, but I mean, as a global knowledge, do you think now everybody's more aware?
100%. Because especially after what is going on with the COVID, mental health is really becoming a issue and it's come out in the public now. Every country, every people have some sort of an issue. So I think awareness has been now come to the people, how important it is, mental and physical well-being for our life. And that is what I think the push is coming into, projects like this, and that is where we thought, the timing is perfect to create more awareness, and we need more and more resorts to come around the world, and which is affordable. See, many of the wellness resorts, what you see in the Western world is too expensive. It is only for the rich or super rich. So we wanted to bring it to the masses, and that is why this project is so important at this phase of our life, because we need to take care of ourselves, and that's only way we can leave something behind for the next generations. Is imagine if we are depressed, what will happen to our children? They look at us, and that is what they grow, correct? And if they see parents are not happy, parents are depressed, parents are going through crisis, world is going through crisis, we have all kinds of climate issues now. It is not going to be an easy place for them to grow. And I think it's very important that all of us take it very, very seriously. It's not a joke anymore. By 2030, if you don't bring it to the net zero, our emission has to reverse. Now every 10 years, the temperature is going up exponentially. And another 1.5 degrees more, we will have 500 million people in the world will die because of heat. And that is where this COP26, event happened. And he said within this few years' time, every country has to bring new policies, to reduce the CO2 emissions, and that is where I thought this project is very, very important to the world, and thought leaders has to come and see how we have done it, and people can replicate, or we can give the knowledge to anyone, and that's something which I always did. I never keep these innovations to myself. And we give it to everybody. We give it to universities. So that's the plan we have now. And inshallah, I'm hoping that, I can play a small part in it.
That's also, for me, it's interesting. I have a question mark in my mind. You and Shabana could have just, said, we're well off. We already are taking care of our health. Why is it so important for both of you? Like, you're very passionate about this, although you don't need to be, but you are. So why is it so important? You mentioned the word legacy a few times. You mentioned leaving this place better for people. You mentioned, I want to make it affordable because it's very expensive. Why is it so important? Like, why do you care?
So as I said, if imagine we living in a fancy world, or, with a lot of pleasures around us, and if people around us are not happy, it's not going to come back to you. It's just a matter of time. And that is what, somebody asked me yesterday, for a large conference in Expo, what is the secret sauce of this country? When the whole world was depressed, now UAE is the most happiest place and everybody wants to come here. And I was telling them, and it happened yesterday, I said, the two amazing leaders, Sheikh Zayed and Sheikh Rashid, and they, that we came in 1995, and their motto was to give and bring an inclusive society. Correct? Even UAE didn't do what they have done. Correct? They helped so many countries in crisis, and every year, and it's not something because I'm here, I'm saying this, few people can make a big difference to the world, and that is why we love these two great human beings, Sheikh Zayed and Sheikh Rashid. And that followed the next generations. Yes. For example, now Sheikh Khalifa, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, Sheikh Sultan, all the rulers of this country, they didn't keep to themselves. Correct. And that is what the world leaders should be doing. People who are blessed with knowledge and wealth, they should be more responsible to give back for the next generations. If they don't do it, imagine what will be the fate of the next generations, correct? It's all about that, and that's something which we as a family, we followed throughout our journey, whether we worked on the oil and gas, we gave the know-how free to this part of the world. When we built the prefab technology, the entire knowledge was given to Manipal Institute of Technology, where I did my civil engineering. We invested $5 million for the research facility over there, correct? Same thing now on the hospital front. We worked with Cleveland Clinic physicians to build the most advanced hospital in India, but affordable. See, many people build advanced things, but how many people can afford it? See, and this is where, I mean, being an industrial engineer and a civil engineer, I really combine these two things, quality with affordability, and it should be affordable to the people, masses. And that is same thing we want to do it in the clinical wellness.
What's the point of doing a clinic where a minority can only afford
Absolutely.
it? You're not making a big change.
No.
Shabana, I have a personal question on what you said. You said that, when you chose to do your trip alone, sometimes, and now I'm going to take the Shabana story, but I will amplify it to many women's stories. Sometimes, a lot of us as family, especially men, we're very solution seekers. Although women sometimes just want us to listen and not say anything, we automatically feel we need to put solutions on the table because I think that's how our mind works. Yeah. But sometimes a woman doesn't want that. She's like, no, I don't need your solutions. I just want you to listen to me or empathize. So for a lot of women, Shabana, maybe they're also talking to their husbands or their fathers or whoever is with them or their family and telling them, maybe I need, alone time. And a lot of men are not as supportive maybe as Faizal or as understanding or trying to understand. Yeah. Maybe Faizal doesn't understand, but he's like, okay, you really want to do this? I'll support you, even if I don't understand. Yes. So how would you tell that to people listening? I mean, a woman who says, I wish my family would understand that I love them, I do need them, I love their support, but this is about me. Now I need only me. How can you educate people on this?
So, initially I felt like I was being selfish when I, started going on this journey about self-discovery. But I realized it's important for the family that I do this for myself. Because it was like my battery was being, drained. I need to constantly recharge it for me to be giving back. So I understood that it is important for me to feel charged and, fulfilled all the time to give back. So that was one motivation for me to do things. And it's not, although going away makes a big difference, but then I was lucky, as blessed, I could take that. But it's not always possible to just leave and go. But just maybe half a day in a week, go to the beach, sit there, take a journal, just listen to your favorite, something like that. If you can put an effort to spend that time for yourself, I think will make a big difference. Just being a little away from everything, maybe in the same country, doesn't matter, but then just being a little away and thinking for yourself, because you're always thinking as somebody's mother, somebody's wife, or somebody's daughter. You're never thinking, who are you as a person? If you don't have a name, if you don't have a designation or a qualification, how would you describe yourself? If you don't have a place in the society, how would you describe? You still are a person, right? You are existing. I was reading the saying, you think and so you are. It's not just because you think it means that you're thinking for yourself, you're thinking how you can improve yourself. That's why you are important. So sometimes I have this conflict in my mind, because this pressure of always doing something kind of affects me. You have to be doing something all the time. What is it? Do you have to be doing something all the time? It's still a question in my mind. I haven't answered that. But a lot of women also, I think, go through that. You have to continuously be doing something. You have to prove yourself. But just for a minute, just think of the person you are and what is important for you. And I think it makes a difference. Just 5 minutes in a day, think about yourself. Yeah, I don't think that's being selfish.
I think the word selfish can be very misunderstood. But I like to bring an example of athlete. And football is my sport, and I'm sure it applies also to other sports. But sometimes a footballer, the guy who scores, the striker, if he's not a selfish individual, he'll never score, because he'll reach the goal and then he'll pass it to his friend. But you're like, no, the goal is there, please score. Yeah. So I do believe selfish can be bad, and I believe
And-
selfish can be good. If you love yourself, that's good, being good selfish.
Yes.
And I like how you said, if I'm good, my family is good,
Yeah.
because I can love them properly. Imagine you come back to a house and the wife, I always believe the women are what make
The aura.
the all aura, absolutely. So if you come back and she's a miserable woman or a depressed woman, then the whole environment is affected. But when you have a happy woman, the whole mood is great. The house is alive, the energy is good, the kids are good. So it's so crucial. I agree with you. You have to be selfish. You have to think of yourself, because I think being selfish can be selfless.
Yes.
By looking after you, you will automatically,
Certainly.
by default, make everybody around you happy. Yeah, we're on time also.
Thank you.
I thought this was a very interesting
Very,
conversation.
very, yes.
And we connected the globe, the masses of people, sustainability, environment, all the way. We tied it, and you helped me tie it down to a personal well-being.
Absolutely.
So thank you for your time.
Oh, and I wanted to wish all the audience watching us a happy year ahead of us. Hope this COVID is left behind, because we lost 2 years of our life, correct? I mean, literally, the whole world suffered. I'm sure that coming years is going to be a glorious years for the entire human race. Yeah.
Inshallah.
Happy New Year. Yeah.
To all of us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
you
you.
guys. Thank you.